Shalom and good evening and welcome to LM's annual Ray of Hope benefit. I'm Capon, your host, coming to you from Israel, and I'm very happy and honored to be with you tonight. You know, growing up in Israel, I know LM very well. It's a household name here. An Israeli president, Ruby Rivlin, recently described LM as the guardian angel of the at-risk youth, especially during the crisis caused by coronavirus. LM is truly special organization that uses unique formulas to reach out to Israeli youth who needs their help. LM meets them on their turf, and you are a very special audience for joining us tonight and helping their work. These are extraordinary times, and we're all facing it together. We hope you, your family, and loved ones are all safe and healthy. The coronavirus brought with it incredible challenges. LM staff and volunteers were deemed essential workers, serving more children and young people than ever before. The organization was able to adapt to the critical needs of troubled Israeli youth under extreme guidelines, offering help in thousands of new cases in the first wave alone. LM staff and volunteers are true heroes. And to reflect this year's theme, hats off to heroes, we take our hats off in their honor. But, well, there's always a ray of hope. All of you tonight, all of you joining us. You know, this virus compelled us to make a virtual event this year, which means that a lot more of you can join us from all across the US and beyond, and for that, we are grateful. We've planned an especially joyful evening to you, which we hope you'll be inspired by. And in return, let me some Israeli chutzpah out, will inspire you to open up your wallets. Tonight, you'll be hearing from this year's LifeSaver Award recipient, Emmy Award winner Rachel Bloom, who we're so excited to have with us. We'll have a special performance for a former LM youth and the winner of Israeli Idol, actress and singer Diana Golbi. We'll also hear from this year's impressive honorees, Alon Futterman and Susan Saltz, and hear about the real impact LM has on youth on our community. We hope you enjoyed tonight's event, and we thank you for joining us in our never-ending effort to help the at-risk youth in Israel. So to start us off, I'd like to introduce you to LM's president, Lenore Rubin. Lenore, take it away.
Thank you so much, Tomer. I have to say, I am thrilled to be working with you this evening, as I am a huge, huge fan of your work. Your performance in When Hero Flies was spellbinding, and Fauda, you had me riveted to the edge of my seat the whole time. I'm so excited to have you with us tonight. And good evening to everyone. So glad you have joined us this evening, albeit socially distant. I promise this will be fun and an eye-opening hour. My name is Lenore Rubin, and I have the privilege to serve as president of LM Youth in Distress for the USA. 2020 has been a super tough year for everyone, especially for Israelis' vulnerable youth. The good news is it's almost over, and hopefully 2021 will be better for all of us. With everyone's participation tonight, that can happen, as each one of us has the power to make magic. Despite all the adjustments and changes COVID has forced upon us, one thing remained the same: LM's commitment to the care and rehabilitation of Israel's at-risk youth. In normal times, LM cares for over 21,000 youths in our face-to-face programs, and an additional 100,000 in our online forums and chat rooms. This year, when other organizations were forced to shut down, LM was deemed essential, and our outreach and care substantially increased. Now, we have all experienced life in lockdown, many of us alone, many of us with family. Now, imagine being a kid living like this with a raging abuser or an alcoholic or a rapist, or living with parents who are so depressed and checked out on drugs that they cannot provide food for their families. These failures of basic support systems is why there is a significant increase of vulnerable youth living on the streets during this pandemic. Alon has seen this phenomenon in every ethnic, religious, LGBTQ, and socioeconomic community in the country, and it turns no one away, ever. This is why the work that Alon does has become even more important. As it is said, it takes a village to raise a child, and we are that village. I'm not the only one who believes this. The United Nations recognize Alon and grant us special consultative status in the field of at-risk youth globally. The Israeli Embassy to the UK honored Alon by promoting our work globally on World Charity Day. And most importantly to all of us who chose to be a part of this village is the recognition we get by the young people we help. So let's look at Alon from the eyes of the young people and volunteers on the World Charity Day video.
Thank you, Lenore, and welcome back. I'm thrilled to introduce our musical guest for tonight, who happens to be a fellow Israeli. There's so much to say about Diana Golbi, who is an incredible performer. A few years ago, she was the winner of Israeli Idol, and since then, her career has just been extraordinary. She's currently stealing the show on Zero Motivation, the musical adaptation of the Tribeca Film Festival winning film. And she just released a new single last month. Not bad considering everything that's going on, right? And one more thing, Diana just happened to be former LM youth. Talk about a success story. Diana, we're so happy to have you here. The stage is all yours.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure and I'm super excited to take part in this very important event for the second time in my life, online this time. I want to thank all you LM workers and volunteers for the remarkable work you do every day. You're truly an inspiration, really, from the bottom of my heart. I mean it and I know it. I'm here with Daniel on the cello and Alon on the guitar. We're going to play a couple of songs for you. Hope you'll enjoy. Stay safe. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Yes, he is. He's going anywhere. Anywhere. A singer in the smoking room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strange fighting just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Yeah. All right. I'm working hard to get my feel. Everybody wants a thrill, paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some were born to sing their blues. Oh, the movie never ends, it goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard, their shadows searching in the night. Yeah. Streetlight people living just to find emotion. They're hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Just hold on to the feeling. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Just hold on to the feeling. Hold on to the streetlight people. Just don't stop believing. Don't stop. Don't stop. Hold on to the streetlight people. Don't you stop believing.
Thank you so much, Diana. That was beautiful. And stay tuned because we got more of Diana later on. Now I'd like to welcome once again Lenore Ruben to our virtual stage to introduce tonight's honorees.
I'm ecstatic to be able to present the Ray of Hope Award to two incredibly special and deserving honorees. They each are doing inspirational work for young people. Alon Futterman has been named by Globe magazine one of Israel's 40 under 40 and one of the most inspirational people of the state by the Yediot Ahronot newspaper. His many accomplishments span the worlds of entrepreneurship, government, military, politics, public education, international partnerships, and nonprofits. He leads some of the most innovative programs in Israel. Clearly not a man who likes to sleep. But his latest endeavor, he is the founding CEO of Talmud, who brings teachers from all over the world to provide summer English studies to elementary school students from low-income communities in Israel. Tonight, I am proud to be able to add one more accolade to your ever-growing list. For your lifetime dedication to education and improving the lives of the youth in Israel, I am proud to take my hat off to you, Alon, and present you with Elam's 2020 Ray of Hope Award.
I would like to open by thanking the wonderful people of Elam for their choice. I'm truly humbled and honored by your decision, especially because you're all heading one of the most important forefronts of Tikkun Olam in Israel, working with youth at risk and making sure that they have every opportunity possible to succeed in life. As the CEO and director of Talma, the Israel Program for Excellence in English, I have the privilege of working with educators that come to Israel from all over the world in order to teach English in low-income and underserved communities. Some teachers come on a summer fellowship, others come on a full school year program, some decide to move to Israel and join the local forces of social change makers, and others return through our alumni to continue the good work or launch a new initiative, even during the year of COVID-19. Regardless of the program that American and Israeli Talmud teachers are on, Many times, they serve the same students that the LM program staff members meet on the ground. They meet children and teenagers that have an unfair start in life, who are challenged due to their social and economic backgrounds, their geographic locations, or the sectors their families are affiliated with. These are all students that can do really well in their future adult lives if enough grown-ups don't give up on them and see their hidden potential. These are all students that can be the leaders, doctors, firefighters, teachers, scientists, and change makers of tomorrow if enough adults make sure that today the learning gaps between them and others are as small as possible. I would like to dedicate this award to the growing list of donors and supporters of both LM and Talma, and to thank them for what Charles Schusterman once put into words: "We make it happen, but you make it possible." I would like to dedicate this award to the teachers, social workers, and all professionals for dedicating their lives to pursuing Tikkun Olam, and for creating opportunities for children and for the adult volunteers that find meaning in the work with them. And finally, I'd like to dedicate this award to my family, the Futterman family, my wife Maytal and our son Omen. May we all be blessed with good health and opportunities to continue the work that defines us most. Toda rabba.
Alon, thank you so much for your heartfelt words. Susan Saltz has dedicated her life to advocating for education reform and the rights of children around the world. Susan is the CFO of New Light Media, president of Gary Saltz Foundation, and a dedicated philanthropist. She's an award-winning producer of several educational films, documentaries, and child-related short films, and is the associate producer for the feature Her Majesty. Among her many endeavors, Susan serves on the board of directors of several organizations that advocate for education reform and the protection of children's rights. And she did all this while raising two wonderful sons. It is through motherhood that she developed a deeper understanding and empathy for the needs and the rights of children. Now, in full disclosure, I have been blessed to have known Susan my entire life and think she is raising two amazing young men as my godsons. I've seen all that Susan has accomplished and stand inspired in her awesomeness. I'm busting with pride to be able to take my hat off to you, Susan, and present you with LM's 2020 Ray of Hope Award on your tireless work on behalf of the Jewish community and children around the world.
Good evening and welcome. I'm truly humbled to be honored by an organization as astounding as LM. As part of a family foundation, my family and I have been supporting children and youth in distress for over 25 years. It's a cause dear to my heart, in part because of the loss of my brother Gary, who took his own life at the age of 17. I work with quite a few organizations that support children and youth physically, mentally, emotionally, and legally, but LM stands out amongst them all, in part because you actually do it all. I love that LM does not turn anyone away. No matter ethnicity, religion, past deed, prognosis, or COVID, LM is there. And you go to extraordinary measures to reach every child or teen who's at risk. If kids are on the streets, your vans enable them to find you. If living in Bedouin tents, there are trusted allies as ambassadors. All over Israel, LM, you provide food, shelter, counseling, job training, secure, loving mentors as parole officers, arrange medical and legal assistance for child prostitutes and addicts, and much more. And I think only in Israel. But why? I believe it comes from both our history of traumatic existential threats as a people and also the deeply held Jewish tradition of Tikkun Olam. If the world appears broken, it's because God left it unfinished, and there are some jobs for us to do. Many jobs. And LM does a lot of those. Each time LM assists youth in distress, I see it as a kind of living prayer, a prayer for all of our futures, It's truly a victory for all of us to share. Speaking of sharing, I'd like to share this honor with Lenore Rubin, whose hard work, skill, and dedication to Elam over 18 years has been jaw-dropping. Lenore and I are first cousins. Our mothers were sisters whom as children miraculously escaped from Poland during the Holocaust with the rest of our family. We grew up together in each other's homes every weekend, and Lenore has always been that safe place, confidant, and support in whatever way was needed. I guess she learned that skill early, and little did I know how far it would take her. Again, thank you so much to Ellen for all you do and for the honor of being here. God bless.
In 1980, my husband and I went to Israel for the first time. We met many of the wonderful people who now work for Elam. We learned that there were troubled kids living in the streets. We would meet them in the streets. We would interview them in the streets. We would become friends with them in the streets. Together, little by little, more and more people learned about Elam and its good works. More people came out to support and volunteer to help them. Helping troubled children means a tremendous amount to me. In recent years, our help to troubled kids has in turn taught them to begin to help each other. This is extremely gratifying to me. I love it because it's really made my life.
The reason that I find Elam so special and when I care so deeply about it is because it starts with values and a belief of helping those in need.
It's the people that keep it safe against all odds and put their heart and soul into the society.
I must say that the work at Elam is the most important thing in my life.
Whether you are Haredi, non-religious, whether you are gay, whether you are straight, whether you are wealthy, whether you are poor, Elam focuses on everyone.
And the tremendous challenges of domestic violence, substance abuse, neglect, bullying, homelessness, and prostitution affect everyone. The approach to dealing with these issues in terms of listening, understanding, and not judging can make all the difference in terms of how people respond to the helping hand that we're giving out there.
When you have an organization helping the lowest common denominator in Israel, it means that they are trying to bring peace to Israel and hope. And in this time in 2020 with COVID crisis, that's what Israel needs. It needs peace and it needs hope.
During the coronavirus outbreak in Israel, Elam has become much more critical for youth and teenagers in distress. We see twice as many teenagers using drugs. The violence at home are increased by 100%. And we see teenagers that running away from home and look for shelters.
For youth, this is an extremely important time. An intervention, a helping hand, done the right way at this critical time can mean the difference between a life restored on track or a life down the wrong path.
The future of Elam is necessary. Troubled kids will always need our help.
Thank you for opening your heart. And although we are thousands of miles away, we can still feel your care and love over the web. Allow me to express our gratitude and to wish you all good health.
Young Israelis need to be safe, they need to be healthy, and they need to be strong. Please support Elam and help us help them.
I would like to express the gratitude of Elam staff and volunteers and say thank you.
We thank you so much for being here tonight, and we really hope that you can join with us in bringing peace and hope in Israel.
Congratulations to Alon and Susan. We're also going to be hearing from our LifeSaver Award recipient, Emmy Award winner Rachel Bloom. So please stick around. But now, if I may, I'd like to take a moment of your time to talk about Elam work during the coronavirus crisis. You know, the youth we serve are constantly struggling, even during normal times. This pandemic has only made things worse for so many of them, presenting unique challenges to LM staff and volunteers as well. LM recently released a special report specifically examining the effects of the pandemic on the youth during the first wave between the months of March and May. LM research found that there has been a 5% increase in suicide attempts, a 23% increase in alcohol consumption, and a 43% increase in depression and anxiety from the same time last year. We're seeing more drug use, more sexual violence at home, self-harm, eating disorders, and other concerning behaviors. But our staff and volunteers have been there throughout the pandemic for each and every youth, not leaving one kid behind. This relentless commitment results in dramatic additional costs. Regardless, LM people will continue to be there for the youth of Israel as we're still waiting for this storm to pass. In the next video, you're gonna get a glimpse of LM work during the early days of the pandemic. And as you watch, please consider making a donation by texting to pledge. We thank you.
התחלתי לעשן סמים באזור גיל 14. האלכוהול הגיע קצת אחרי. בחרתי לעזוב את הבית.
אם אני אומר לך את המילה אלם, מה היא אומרת לך?
זה מלאכים ודמות אדם. משפחה, בית, חד משמעית. הכניסו אותי משם להוסטל לנוער בסיכון. זו הייתה מלחמה בלתי נגמרת שלהם עליי.
מאיפה אתה מגיע אליהם? איך אתה מוצא אותם?
אנחנו פשוט מסתובבים ברחוב. אם זה חסרות בית שהיא ההתחלה של הרצף, אם זה מישהו שהוא כבר עמוק בחיי רחוב, אם זה מישהו שהוא בזנות, אם זה מישהו שהוא חזק בסמים והם כרגע שולטים בו, ולאט לאט מגיעים לאיזושהי שיחה. תבחרו מתוך האופציות שאני מכיר. מה טוב לכם, מה נכון לכם.
מה זה האופציות שאתה מכיר?
שלטרים שהמדינה מפעילה או שהעמותות מפעילות. אוכל, שתייה, תרופות.
אז זאת הניידת? אני סוחר את הדבר הזה.
הפרויקט שאני עובדת פה זה פרויקט הלב, שזה פרויקט לבני נוער וצעירים על רצף הזנות. זה כמו בית, מרחב בטוח, שהם יכולים לרגע לנשום.
איפה הקורונה תופסת אותך בעניין הזה?
אלה שכבר ברחוב, מאוד קשה להם, יש פחות אוכל ברחוב למצוא, יש פחות קיבוץ נדבות, מקבלים כנסות מהמשטרה להסתובבויות, ואין להם לאן ללכת. ויותר חבר'ה קשה להם בבית.
כמה זה נורא המצב הזה שהם בבתים שלהם, עם המשפחה הפוגעת, והם פשוט חווים עוד ועוד טראומות.
אני יכולה להגיד שאם לא הייתי פוגשת את אלם, אני לא בטוחה שהייתי יושבת. בטח לא עכשיו ברעיון הזה, אבל אולי בכלא.
כיף.
Good evening. My name is Noam Layden, and I am a proud LM board member and supporter. Boy, we're living through a rough time during this pandemic for a bunch of obvious reasons. But I don't know about you, but there's been a bright side to all of this. I've really reconnected with my family in such an amazing way. I've gotten to know my kids.
Were you gonna order the pizza, or did you want me to do it?
Gabe, I'm in the middle of doing something. I'm talking to the people from LM.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where was I? I was talking about the pandemic. Okay. Anyway, so we're living through this.
It's $14.
Okay. There you go. $14 for the pizza.
Thanks,
a scram, okay? If you're wondering how you can make a difference, I'm going to share with you how you can support LM. We ask that you join us and donate tonight, all of you. If you're able, a gift of any size is going to make a huge difference, and it sends a great message. You can text your pledge right now. I'm going to show you how. Just pick up your phone, you know, one of these things if you've never seen a phone before. And you can text your pledge to the number you see on the screen right now, 929-552-3536. You can type your name, a short message, and the amount of your gift. Then press send and your message and gift will appear on screen. Now, if you're shy, like I am, as you can see, you can send your message and donation anonymously. Now, while you are getting your phones out and texting those donations in, let me tell you what your money's going to go to, a whole bunch of great things. $72 allows Elam to serve hot coffee and snacks for one day at one of our Hafuch al Hafuch drop-in centers. $180 provides 5 emergency food packages for homeless and hungry young people at risk during this coronavirus crisis. $360 trains one volunteer in Israel who's able to reach thousands of youth in distress every single year. If you have $1,800, you can provide safe housing and warm food for up to 6 young people for a month. $2,500 supports an outreach van for an entire week. And $15,000 provides personal hygiene supplies for over 100 girls and young women for an entire year at our Jerusalem Women's Shelter. Elam's important work is supported by you. So now let's see who has texted their pledge in tonight at our Ray of Hope Gala. And the numbers are coming in already. Amazing. My good friend Lori Gossett, thumbs up to you. A big $4,700 pledge. She says hats off to Elam's heroes, and they really are heroes during this pandemic, the great work that they're doing. $100 from Rebecca Zahner. She says, great work. Keep it up. And thank you, Rebecca. Keep it up. Thanks for the big donation tonight. $250 from Alana Cooper and Todd Mattress. They say Elam is an inspiring organization and one that we love. And we all love that, doing fantastic work. Thank you to David Weigel, who has donated $100 tonight. And his message to all of us is thanks for all the work that Elam does. Our old friend Judy Fine, $250 from her. Thank you very much, Judy. Keep texting pledges all night long, 929-552-3536. We have more entertainment, by the way, coming up before this is all over. So you're going to want to stick through the entire night. So wow, this has really been truly amazing. Thank you for the honor of being the guy who gets to ask you cash. Thank you for everyone for your generosity. Text to pledge remains open, so keep those pledges coming. You can find the number in the chat, and you can also donate online if you prefer. The link is on screen and in the chat. And now, let me put my hat on. And now I'm going to take my hat off to the amazing heroes doing the work every day, and also to our illustrious leader, Lenore, to introduce the extraordinary honorees who are with us tonight.
Hi, my name is Honoree. I'm from the activist community in Jerusalem.
I work at Elam in the Archit Van project in Jerusalem.
Hello everyone, my name is Limor and I'm the manager of the Outreach Van in Jerusalem.
My name is Matan and I am from Elam Rehovot.
My name is Semyon and I visit Elam's center in Tel Aviv every week.
And I visit Elam's center here in Kiryat Shmona every week.
I wanted to say thank you very much to all of you for your donations. It helps us get going, it helps others. And we are so very grateful for that.
LifeSaver is a really great place. It really helped me develop my social skills. Now I can freely express my opinions, ideologies, and I know that I don't have to worry about social interactions.
Your support across the year is amazing. It helps us so much to do the best job we can for the Youth to Risk in Jerusalem and the cold nights.
And thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. It's a very big thank you from all of us.
Thank you for all. Thank you for the great support and I appreciate your help.
Thanks for all your help.
We wish you all just a lot of health and thank you again.
Thank you, we truly appreciate you.
Thanks, Noam, and thank you to each one of you tonight. Your generosity means so much to so many people. And now, on to our last award for the evening, the LifeSaver Award. The LifeSaver Award is given annually by Ellen to recognize an exceptional individual who exemplifies a commitment to alleviating suffering and inhumane treatment of youth, social inequality, and intolerance. Our recipients come from all walks of life, and their work in the U.S., Israel, and globally a rays of hope preserving human life. This year's LifeSaver Award recipient is a woman of many talents. Through her art, Rachel Bloom has been an outspoken advocate for mental health, a subject matter that is rarely portrayed with honesty in pop culture. It also happens to be a subject that permeates Elm's work with troubled youth. The show frequently touches on subjects such as sexuality and on issues dealing with sexual health, which are topics often considered way too taboo to discuss, considering that LM youths usually don't have access to informed sex education, nor do they feel safe discussing this at home, which has become an even bigger problem with COVID. LM has had to step up to meet this need. LM, like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, recognizes the need to be able to discuss these topics in open, frank, judgment-free platforms in order to keep everyone safe and healthy. Rachel has proven to be a positive force representing the American diversity by featuring LGBTQ+, Jewish, Latin, and Asian characters in lead roles in her show. As in real life, meaningful dialogue and humor creates the progress that leads to change and new opportunities. Ellen fights hard every day to create conversations on behalf of those youth who cannot speak for themselves and to provide opportunities for those who need them. As of yesterday, Rachel is also a published author. And true to her form, her book, I Want to Be Where the Normal People Are, touches on OCD and depression. I want to take a moment to mention the late Adam Schlesinger, a rare talent who, along with Rachel and Jack Daltrey, co-wrote and produced all of the songs on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. He passed away earlier this year due to COVID-19. A great loss to his loved ones and to the world for all of the songs and stories left unwritten. He will be missed. I am honored to give the LM 2020 LifeSaver Award to Rachel Bloom. Congratulations, Rachel. From all of us at LM, we take off our hats to you.
I want to thank LM for giving me this meaningful award. The work this organization does lifting up at-risk youth in Israel is admirable, inspiring, and so deeply important. I'm honored to be recognized by such an impactful group. So throughout the 4 seasons of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it was always important for us to speak openly about topics that might be taboo, such as mental health, sexual health, and sexuality. And these topics can be very taboo in popular culture. So we made concerted efforts to normalize them. And this is especially important when it comes to adolescence. And that's why I really connect with your organization. Adolescence is a time fraught with changes, and even more so in a lot of cases where LM is concerned, as you know. By normalizing these topics in pop culture, the hope is that it and we as artists can open up a dialogue in day-to-day life. Once that happens, people tend to realize that anything they may be feeling or going through isn't unusual at all. In fact, many other people struggle with the same hurdles. I know I've been through that. Now, of course, these kinds of discoveries and conversations can only happen when you're in a group of people who support you and an environment that is safe and supportive, like the ones LM creates for the youth in their programs. Sometimes the worst part about working through mental health issues is feeling like you're alone in the struggle. And I know this has been one of the most challenging obstacles for me to overcome. And not to shamelessly plug my book that came out yesterday, but this is something I write a lot about in my book. It's one of the reasons I wrote a book. I wrote about the experiences that I've had that I thought were abnormal, but I've realized over the years that a lot of people have felt the same way. So in that way, I realized there is no such thing as normal. And it's my hope that this message can be unifying and empowering to those who read it and help them feel less alone. The work that LM does for at-risk youth in Israel is extraordinary, and I'm greatly honored that you think my perspective and my work has had an impact. You are a positive, compassionate presence in Israel, changing your corner of the world for better. And with each child, teen, and young adult you inspire, their lives are made better. You show them the possibility that they can live their lives to the fullest and contribute positively to a society that values them. So thank you for this award. You all have inspired me with the work you've done, and I'm honored that I have inspired you in any way.
Hi there, I'm Fran Drescher, and I just wanted to thank all of you for coming to the Ray of Hope virtual fundraiser in support of LM, who helps youth in distress in Israel. I love this organization because I think it helps all young people in distress, and it's non-prejudicial about what their ethnicity is, what their religious background is. It doesn't matter. It comes with a full big heart, and it helps all young people equally and with love and support. So bravo to you, and thank you all for supporting this wonderful organization. And also, I wanted to give a special hello and congratulations and mazel tov to my friend and colleague Rachel Bloom, who is this year's LifeSaver Award recipient. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more than you. You are a very special woman, very giving, very full of heart, and I'm honored to know you and to be working with you. And God bless you for all you do and will continue to do throughout your life. So thank you everybody for attending. Be well. God bless. Mazel tov and shalom. Mwah.
Congratulations, Rachel, a very well-deserved LifeSaver Award recipient. And while Alex Voss is preparing backstage, or he would have if we had a backstage, I'd like to once again welcome Diana Golbi for last performance of the night. Diana, blow us away.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. No, just stand by me. Oh, stand by me, stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tremble and fall, and the mountain should crumble all to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, just stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, stand by me. So darling, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Stand by me, oh, just stand by me. 'Cause every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you every single day, and every word that you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see? You belong to me. How a poor heart aches with every step you take, every move you make, and every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you strike, I'll be watching you. Since you've gone, I'll be lost without a trace. I dream at night, I can only see your face. I look around, but it's you I can't replace. I feel so cold and I long for your embrace. I keep crying, baby, baby, please. Keep crying, baby, please. When the night has come, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see, some darling stand by me.
Thank you so much, Diana, for another beautiful performance. This is a good opportunity to thank all of you too, and ask you to stand by LM by texting to pledge. Remember, text to pledge will be available for the rest of the night, and every little or big gift helps. It's been a pleasure being your host, and thank you for all your support in LM.
The troubled youth in Israel who want to drop out of school but instead visit an LM center in their high school to talk about their problems and stay in school are my heroes. Hats off to them.
I'm taking my hat off in honor of the LM people who make LM happen.
And hats off to those frontline workers.
Hats off to all of LM staff and volunteers.
I take my hat off to the heroes from the Ray of Hope benefit in honor of LM. Congratulations to all heroes.
Bye.